Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. The two figures of time-space demon merged into one. He smiled and flipped his hand, revealing a drop of blue water, which gradually transformed into the shape of a flying boat. This is a mysterious late-stage Divine Emperor level escape-type flying boat. In the future, when you leave the source world, you will encounter many dangers, and it will be of great use then. Luo Feng reached out to take it. A drop of blue water fell into his palm. Luo Feng's thoughts penetrated, quickly mastering this secret treasure. The droplet naturally transformed into the shape of a flying boat. A late-stage Divine Emperor life-type secret treasure. Luo Feng had already glimpsed the secret patterns contained within this treasure. Although he could immediately determine that it was far less complex than the Star Tower, at present, he could only activate a mere portion of the Star Tower's potential. Similarly, he could only activate a very small part of this water droplet. As power permeated the treasure, Luo Feng felt the heaviness of this droplet, which existed tens of thousands of times more solidly than his own life form. Despite all his effort, he couldn't budge it in the slightest. I can sense the entire source world. With the help of the water drop flying boat, Luo Feng could sense every part of the source world, including the 3,000 dimensional spaces of the primordial cosmos. With just a thought, he could reach any place on the land of origin. But the 3,000 primordial cosmoses were vaguely protected by the supreme rules. If he ventured in recklessly, he might face severe consequences. The sensing range of this flying boat is extremely broad. Within its range, you can arrive with just a thought, Time-Space Demon said, and it is like a world of life, incomparably heavy, capable of shielding you from many dangers. Especially for you youngsters with weak strength, going outside the source world without a protective item will easily lead to death. Is it very dangerous outside? Luo Feng inquired. Extremely dangerous. Time-Space Demon said, those who can walk out of the source world are no ordinary strong beings. These strong beings, very few are creatures from the source world. The vast majority come from other billions of worlds. They can be collectively referred to as cultivators. Cultivators, with all kinds of array of methods. You just left the land of origin and are unaware of many arts, making it easy to fall into a trap, Time-Space Demon said with a smile. Luo Feng listened intently. No matter what, cultivators are ultimately from the same camp as us, Time-Space Demon said. Those innate primordial life forms are our true enemies. They are born outside the braided cage, and are primordial life forms. But the vast majority of them have low intelligence and comprehension, unable to unearth much bloodline power, their strength only at the level of Divine Emperor. These ones with lower intelligence are called low-level primordial life. These are also opponents for us practitioners, Time-Space Demon said. As for stronger high-level primordial life and so on, best not to think about it. Meeting them will certainly lead to death, and even hiding an avatar in the homeland source world may involve death. Even the homeland avatar must die. Luo Feng was horrified. The supreme rules can't shelter them. Nothing is absolute, Time-Space Demon snickered. The supreme rules themselves are hard to ensure. Hard to ensure themselves. Luo Feng was puzzled. The innate primordial life clan is very large, with extremely powerful forces, far beyond our cultivator faction, Time-Space Demon said. Even Senior Yuan and others are resisting the innate primordial life clan. But overall, we are at a disadvantage. To my knowledge, there are some source worlds that have been devoured by the innate primordial life clan, Time-Space Demon lamented. Luo Feng was shocked. Some source worlds. Source worlds, such gigantic entities led by supreme rules, could also be devoured. Did you think Yuan left many treasure lands on the land of origin for no reason? Time-Space Demon lightly shook his head. It's because the entire cultivator faction is at a disadvantage in the struggle with the innate primordial life clan. I once saw with my own eyes a gigantic creature invade a world where practitioners gathered. Even the primordial life from our practitioner side couldn't block it, and were ripped to shreds, Time-Space Demon said. I instantly self-annihilated my avatar to escape death. Among the creatures of that world, very few survived. Luo Feng listened in bewilderment. Devour source worlds. A gigantic creature invades a world, even the practitioner's primordial life couldn't block and were shredded. Compared to this level, indeed, he was too weak. Outside the source world, it's very cruel, Time-Space Demon said, seeing Luo Feng's expression. I also have to grasp every opportunity to break through and teleport to various source worlds, hoping to gain more chances to advance further on the cultivation path. Time-Space Demon looked at Luo Feng, seeing him as a kindred spirit. Countless kindred spirits continue forward in darkness. Even those like Yuan standing at the highest, also arduously resist greater forces. Time-Space Demon left, and the Two Realms Palace Master and One Far Tower Master also visited Luo Feng. Clearly believing that with Luo Feng's strength, he should obtain special life remnants and secret skill techniques. Luo Feng attempted to sell the other 3 Divine Emperor secret treasures left by Di Yuan: cloak, combat boots, and gloves. But these early-stage Divine Emperor treasures were not appreciated by the Two Realms Palace Master and One Far Tower Master. Time-Space Demon was right. Among the cheap items, only the armor and beads have higher value. Luo Feng also learned about information outside the source world from the Two Realms Palace Master and One Far Tower Master, neither of whom concealed anything, voluntarily sharing a lot. The more he learned, the heavier Luo Feng's heart became. The source world is a cradle, sheltering source life forms. Outside, it's a place of darkness. Currently, I'm not even at the ultimate realm, still too weak. Luo Feng's once unyielding pride in having invincible power on the land of origin had dissipated, but he was also aware of both his shortcomings and strengths. The shortcoming was a rather low realm, merely the second realm of Godly King. The strength was the great Tao of life and death, as a fusion Tao, evidently extremely formidable. It was a path far surpassing others at the same level. And he also had the Star Tower to comprehend. The galaxy Divine Kingdom, nearly as significant as the 2 ancient countries, naturally attracted some enemies of the 2 ancient countries to seek refuge actively. Ruler. Emperor Gui Shu's eyes were red with reverence. In my previous life, I was Lihe God King, holding a blood-sea vendetta with Di Yang, Di Shi, Di Wu of the Flame Wind ancient country. My wife, 3 sons, 2 daughters, and all my clan were slaughtered by those 3 emperors. After reincarnation, I have always wanted revenge. However, I have only targeted the 3 lines of Di Yang, Di Shi, Di Wu, without affecting others. Luo Feng, in his silver robe and golden mask, sat on the throne, looking below, nodding slightly. I have heard of the matters of Lihe God King. Emperor Gui Shu respectfully said, I sincerely follow the ruler, and ask for the ruler's acceptance. Revenge, too difficult indeed. Those that could be killed, had long been killed. The remaining are too hard to deal with. Di Yang, Di Shi, Di Wu, only made Emperor Gui Shu see no hope. Upon hearing that the galaxy ruler killed Di Yuan, he decided to align himself. I like those who value sentiment and justice, not the despicable, Luo Feng said, overlooking below. Gui Shu, from today, you are a member of my galaxy divine country. Yes, Emperor Gui Shu responded respectfully. Emperor Gui Shu, come with me. Moli on the side said. Now Moli was the steward of the entire galaxy divine country, with enough power to manage these arrogant powerful godly kings. Watching Gui Shu leave, Luo Feng found it amusing. In the future, when I reveal my identity, I wonder what Brother Gui Shu will think. Luo Feng mused. Gui Shu had a blood sea vendetta with Di Yang and the three emperors, and Luo Feng also supported his revenge. The emperors of the Flame Wind ancient country, the monarchs of the Thunder ancient country. There were some Luo Feng admired and others he disliked, as well as a few who made him feel murderous intent. Recently, God's kings under me have been increasing, Luo Feng pondered. Recently joined godly kings numbered 16, among them, Luo Feng familiar with 2, Emperor Gui Shu and the Cloud Sky God King. Cloud Sky God King was the only female godly king in the Reincarnation Tower, and this time she joined the galaxy divine country with her Daoist partner. Since forming enmity with the Thunder ancient country, the Cloud Sky God King had been fleeing outside, never revealing her Daoist partner. This time, the two Daoist couples could finally live openly together. Flame Wind ancient country, Qingju. Emperor Qing Palace. Galaxy divine country. Having established for a period, I believe the 3 alien clans have also visited this ruler. He should also be well informed about outside the source world. Emperor Qing gazed outside. It's time to meet this galaxy ruler. He stood there, and with just a thought, an invisible power traversed distant space, already reaching the capital of the galaxy divine country. In the capital, inside the palace. Luo Feng and Moli simultaneously looked to the outside, both perceiving a terrifying power remotely transmitted, already reaching the limit of origin continent's might. Yet no great disturbance was caused, the heavens and earth remained peaceful. Immense yet restrained. Master, he feels terrifying. I am far from being his match. Moli felt his heart tremble. In front of this dreadful power, he could not hold long and would soon face death. It's an existence above godly king, Luo Feng said. The 3 alien clans, after all, come from the outside, their power suppressed to the limit of primal chaos realm. So Luo Feng handled them easily. But this existence at present. Luo Feng had to be cautious. What friend is this, I wonder? Luo Feng initiated a thought, faintly scarlet waves appearing around the capital, blocking that enormous invisible power. Emperor Qing, greeting the galaxy ruler. A clear, cold voice resonated. A blue-clothed man appeared within the capital, then, with a single step, reached the front of the palace's main gate. He had not directly descended inside the palace, but stood outside the main gate, symbolizing goodwill. Emperor Qing's visit is an honor for the galaxy divine country, Luo Feng's voice echoed, the palace's main gate opening wide. Emperor Qing stepped inside. Just 2 steps. Emperor Qing reached a 9-story tower within the palace, where Luo Feng had already set a banquet, and Moli stood by serving. Finally, I get to meet the galaxy ruler today, Emperor Qing smiled as he approached, suddenly astonished looking at Moli on the side. Who is this old servant? He had many observation methods in operation in his view. The galaxy ruler is an incarnate of a terrifying blood river, with weight and grandeur. But this old servant was like an abyss, hard to fathom. He couldn't see through the galaxy ruler, but surprisingly couldn't see through this old servant either. It's my sector beast, Luo Feng replied. Emperor Qing smiled. I was wondering how the origin continent simultaneously sees the rise of 2 strong presences. It turns out this old servant is a sector beast. The galaxy ruler is truly extraordinary, able to cultivate a sector beast. At Emperor Qing's level, naturally, he didn't mind a sector beast. Sector beasts can't break the fate limit, forever just within the ultimate realm. Luo Feng was observing Emperor Qing, and through the domain formed by the Star Tower, he could sense the sharpness contained within Emperor Qing. Even his own endless blood river was not certain to withstand that terrifying sharpness. Not unworthy of being the only one above God King in the land of origin of this era. Luo Feng thought silently. The ancestors of the two countries and the ancestor of the East Extreme domain do not belong to this era. His talent is a cut above the rest, far surpassing other cultivators. Luo Feng understood this. Not counting himself, Emperor Qing was the most terrifying of his contemporaries, followed by the ultimate realm lord of 10,000 realms, and then by Emperor Fu, Emperor Ming, Wind City Empress, Fire Ancestor, and so on. Emperor Qing only had eyes for Luo Feng, not caring about the sector beast at all. Because the minimum threshold for teleporting away from the source world is an ultimate realm life form. Outside of the source world, there's a convergence of elites from many source worlds and countless other worlds. In that place, being at the ultimate realm is only the basic level, so he naturally didn't care about a sector beast. I originally thought that in our era of the land of origin, only I and the Lord of 10,000 realms emerged. Emperor Qing's eyes were enthusiastic. Who would have expected that as the land of origin gradually entered its twilight, the galaxy ruler appeared? Ha ha, it truly is a joyous occasion. Being from the same land of origin, they were obviously the most suitable companions in life and death. Having a trustworthy companion during adventures in the outside world is too precious. If you don't mind, I would like to call you Galaxy Brother. Emperor Qing smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. Of course that's okay. Luo Feng said. The 13 emperors of the Flame Wind ancient country all have different ways of doing things. Emperor Qing belongs to the most dazzling kind, with exceptional talent, outstanding above all. He disdains primordial bloodline, disdains devouring creatures, and other devious paths. By just comprehending the operations of the heaven and earth rules, he naturally became an ultimate realm being. Even while cultivating within the land of origin, he broke through the ultimate realm and reached above God King. It was indeed the case that resources helped him reach this point. But other emperors and monarchs of the two great imperial clans, with similar vast resources, have not even produced one ultimate realm being. This shows just how terrifying Emperor Qing's talent is. As for Emperor Yuan's matter, it was his own fault. Emperor Qing didn't care. His greedy nature, repeatedly devouring countless creatures, has caused a lot of trouble. Such a troublemaker and waste, according to my personality, should have been killed long ago. But the rules of the Flame Wind ancient country royal family were set by the ancestor, and I couldn't readily change them. Luo Feng listened with some surprise. Emperor Qing did not come to pick a quarrel, but instead thought Emperor Yuan deserved to die. The ancestor was lenient, believing that the great Tao is immeasurable and need not be overly constrained. Emperor Qing shook his head with a smile. Let's not talk about that. I came today also to invite Galaxy Brother to leave the land of origin and join me in adventures outside. Invite me to join forces. Luo Feng was a little surprised. In the outside adventures, dangers are everywhere. Emperor Qing looked at Luo Feng. Alien races are not reliable and can betray at any time. You and I are both from the land of origin. Even if we move on to the next era of the land of origin, we will still have avatars staying in the land of origin, destined to coexist for endless eons. So naturally, we are the most trustworthy. Like primogenitor Yang Feng and Thunder Ancestor, they have been lifelong companions through endless eons, supporting each other, and only then did they reach today. Emperor Qing looked at Luo Feng. I really need a companion who is trustworthy and also has enough strength. I heard that teleporting away from the land of origin will lead to different places. Luo Feng said, it's not certain that I can meet up with you, Emperor Qing, right? I have the primordial space coordinates, which can lock onto the destination. I can send out an avatar to teleport with you, so we can teleport to the world where I am. Emperor Qing said, "When I first teleported, it was to this world, where I have rooted myself for many long years, and I have established some foundations. Joining forces with me, your start will certainly be much smoother." Luo Feng was quite tempted upon hearing this. But he himself was not even an ultimate realm life form yet. Not qualified to leave the land of origin. The land of origin is too small for both of us. Emperor Qing urged passionately, outside the source world. There are strong beings from a multitude of other source worlds and countless other worlds. That's where we should be going. I am currently cultivating a secret technique. Luo Feng thought for a moment and then said, "I'll wait until this secret technique is mastered before heading outside the land of origin." Cultivating a secret technique. Emperor Qing asked, "How long will that take?" At their level of cultivation, if they devoted themselves to cultivating a powerful secret technique, it would be quite normal to take hundreds of thousands, or even millions of eons. About 1,000 eons, Luo Feng said. Luo Feng received 3 kinds of ultimate realm primordial bloodline biological materials and naturally wanted to elevate the world life form to an even higher level. Those ultimate realm primordial bloodline creatures, despite their low intelligence, have such strength. If Luo Feng succeeds, by relying solely on his physical body, he may well match those above God King. Coupled with a deeper accumulation of the great Tao of life and death, Luo Feng felt that by then, he could try to venture outside the source world to gain some insight. The most crucial point is, to pass through the teleportation channel, you must at least be an ultimate realm life form. This is the threshold set by the universe. Only about 1,000 eons. Upon hearing this, Emperor Qing laughed, "No rush, no rush. Galaxy brother, cultivate well and perfect your secret technique, and then we can set off together." Luo Feng nodded. According to the intelligence on Emperor Qing, and from their current interaction, Luo Feng found that Emperor Qing was suitable to be a companion. Most importantly, both sides are from the land of origin. In the future, they would have to coexist in the land of origin for a long time, and they also had to consider their friends and disciples. Coming from the same source world, the possibility of betrayal was extremely low. "If Galaxy brother doesn't mind, shall we spar a bit?" Emperor Qing looked at Luo Feng. "Our confrontation will also show the forces of the land of origin that they dare not make enemies with Galaxy brother again." "Spar? Sure." Luo Feng was also quite looking forward to it. "Good, then let's go outside the continent, into the universe ocean," Emperor Qing said. "That way, we won't involve the innocent." Luo Feng nodded. Whoosh! Whoosh! They came one after another, traversing the vast and remote distances to arrive outside the land of origin, within the universe ocean. This vast expanse of the universe ocean, close to the land of origin, was already devoid of any creatures. "Please," Emperor Qing said with a smile, he who had traveled and battled in the outside world, encountering countless strong beings from different realms. Under the power constraints of the land of origin, Emperor Qing naturally felt no pressure. He was now merely curious about the strength of this future companion. He only wished for his companion to be as strong as possible. Luo Feng stood there. "Be careful." Luo Feng brimmed with fighting spirit. Such an opponent was rare indeed. With a single thought, his form instantly transformed into an endless blood river, which roiling and spread to an infinite expanse in a flash. The scope of the blood river enveloped its own realm. The blood river's length and width had no end. Those without sufficient strength would never be able to fly out of its bounds. "Break!" Emperor Qing stood still, yet from him radiated terrifying sword lights that cut in all directions. These sword lights were condensed to the extreme, cutting through all obstacles, even severing the operating rules. Even though Luo Feng's endless blood river was thick, each current like a world of its own, it was still being cut through by these sword lights. 19 sword lights, that could cut through all things, even managed to slice open the obstructions of the Blood River realm, reaching the adjacent universe ocean. Boom tilde tilde tilde, the universe ocean was struck, creating void chasms, and even the membrane of the source world had long cracks. The might of these 19 terrifying sword lights, unobscured and flagrant, instantly alarmed every godly king in the land of origin. This power. Every godly king in the land of origin felt a heart-palpitating sense of power that could easily annihilate them, bursting forth at the edge of the continent, within a part of the universe ocean. Instantly, they each tried to pry into the scene. The powerful godly kings could cast secret techniques to watch from afar. The weaker godly kings needed to use the images from the Flame-Wind Pavilion and Thunderclap Commerce to peer into the scene. The Galaxy Ruler and Emperor Qing have clashed. Is Emperor Qing stepping up for the Flame-Wind ancient country? Is he avenging Di Yuan? Various powers were stirred up. Emperor Qing has made his move. Di Yang, Di Kong, Di Wu, and other monarchs were very excited. They had full confidence in Emperor Qing. Emperor Qing once said that he could do nothing against the Galaxy Ruler, so why would he still make a move? Di Fu watched the scene from afar. Luo Feng. Among the many godly kings watching, there was also the mountain-sitting guest. The mountain-sitting guest had long known the identity of the black-robed golden-faced figure. Luo Feng's strength could easily suppress the combined forces of 8 monarchs. I wonder how he will fare against Emperor Qing. Although mountain-sitting guest was somewhat nervous, he still had confidence in his disciple. This disciple of his, with such exceptional talent, was even above Emperor Qing and the Lord of 10,000 realms. Merely hundreds of age cycles upon arrival at the land of origin, he had grown so much. How terrifying was this talent and potential? Within the universe ocean near the land, Luo Feng could naturally sense the gazes of numerous godly kings watching from afar. He also understood Emperor Qing's approach, to make a bigger scene, to make the various powers truly understand the strength of the Galaxy Ruler. If you have strength, you must let them witness. Emperor Qing stood there. Once they see it clearly, they will become very obedient. Outside the endless Blood River stood no less than 19 sword lights, naturally forming a massive sword array. Brother Emperor Qing's sword array is indeed formidable, able to effortlessly tear through my Blood River, Luo Feng remarked. Water flow fears not being torn asunder. Emperor Qing laughed. I have struck 19 swords, yet your endless Blood River hasn't weakened in the slightest. But next, I shall get serious. This sword array, named 3000 Kill Array, draws from the core mysteries of an ancient witch array, integrated into one. Although it is restricted by the supreme rules, its power is limited. However, its profound mysteries can be fully displayed, Emperor Qing said smilingly, please receive my strike. Upon finishing his words, the immense sword array suddenly erupted with light. Countless sword lights converged and rotated, turning the entire formation into black and white hues, seeking to annihilate the entire Blood River. Yet the endless Blood River was immensely thick. Despite the black and white sword lights' efforts to rend it asunder, tendrils of blood infiltrated the sword lights, causing them to collapse. A Tao of Life Blood River. Emperor Qing determined in an instant, each strand of the Blood River's life force is terrifyingly powerful. Once contaminated, it can even corrode and destroy my sword lights. This video will end here.